Now, comically, sort of, we were waiting for Nik Kershaw to ring us. We should have been ringing him. Excellent. He's got a new album out called Oxymoron. I know a few of those. Let's say hello to Nik. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Claire. How are you?
You're all right. Yeah, really good to talk to you. Really good to talk to you. Now, you've got a song on the album called From Cloudy Bay to Malibu. I'm going to play that, actually. Yep. Is that a journey around your drinks trolley?
Well, kind of, yeah, basically. It's travelling the world via the medium of alcoholic beverages, yeah.
It is?
Which I've never personally done in one night.
Have you not?
Not in the one night, no.
Still time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How have things been for you in the last few months? And when did you record this album anyway?
Well, this album was kind of all done and dusted at the end of January and was supposed to come out in June. But I guess I've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years, I guess. It's taken a while. The last one was 8 years ago, to my shame.
Wow. And the thing is, I feel like, should we name 2020 the year of the album? Because obviously there haven't been many live gigs at all, but there's still been loads of great music being released, hasn't there?
Yeah. Well, what else are we going to do?
That's it.
Well, I mean, there was a period right at the start of it. As I said, it was supposed to be out June, and we thought, well, it's just going to be a few months, isn't it? We'll wait until it's over. I think everybody's come to the conclusion that we're in this for the long run, and we might as well just get on with it.
Yeah, let's just crack on and release the album. So it's your 9th studio album, your first release since 2012, as you mentioned. What did you do in those 8 years?
Well, let me think.
Spin us through a few.
I tried to do some writing. I had a few dry patches. Wrote a load of songs, threw them away. Broke a few up for salvage. Played a bit of bad golf. Got into my garden, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm rapidly approaching retirement age, so I was practicing for retirement, really.
And what was it then that inspired you to go back and think, do you know what, there's still more to come? I've got something in there.
Well, I don't really get a lot of choice because I just get woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning with this tune going around in my head, and if I don't do something with it, it just won't go away. So I just have to record it, and that just happens. And basically, I'm not qualified to do anything else. So really, I just have to get on with it.
Yeah. And so you decided to go back in the studio. I think did you record this all in Abbey Road? Did I read that right?
Not quite. No, I mean I did a lot of it on my own in my own sort of home studios. Okay. It was about 2/3 of it, I guess. And I went to Abbey Road to finish it off, and to get people that actually knew what they were doing to get involved with it. Mm.
Very wise, very wise. Yeah, how much of I know you sometimes play these 80s rewind tours. How much of that, when you're playing one of those gigs, does everyone demand only the 80s stuff? And do you ever dare play anything from another decade?
Well, it depends. It depends on the good gigs, but most festivals, I mean, you kind of, there's an unwritten contract really that they've come to hear something specific, and you're there to play it. Really, yeah. It's a kind of a kind of a pact that you're in when you walk on stage. So you don't normally throw something in unless you've got a longer set than normal, and you can just chuck one in, and when their eyes glaze over, you play them a new one, an old one though.
Yeah, it would be quite rude to go on one of those 80s things and play nothing. Yeah. I'm not going to do any 80s stuff today, I insist. I'm only doing 2000s. Absolutely,
that would be extremely rude.
It would be quite rude. When you are creating something, are you somebody who starts with lyrics? Do you have something in your head, or are you someone who starts with the musical side of it?
It changes. Every song is different. I mean, the best ones seem to come with, it's kind of in one go. I'll get a bit of a tune and a few words will come with it, and then I spend the next few weeks trying to figure out what the song's about. But sometimes I'll start with a drum groove, sometimes just with a few chords, sometimes I'll just a few words, or just sit down with an acoustic guitar and bash away all day.
I was going to say, what do you play instrument-wise?
I'm a guitar player, first and foremost. I mean, I can't play keyboards, but I can play a computer. So my computer plays the keyboards.
Yeah.
I know how to make them make the sounds I want them to make. So that's the deal there. Yeah, but I'm a guitar player first and foremost.
Yeah, of course. How proud are you of having something new out? Does that feel like a sort of, I don't know, another sort of stage in your life, I guess?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that but it isn't. I don't know, a new stage, but it's just good to get something out there and get people involved with people again, because it can be quite a solitary experience otherwise.
I bet we've all been going through that, haven't we? The solitary experience business.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. When you were, just take us quickly back and indulge us a bit in some 80s nostalgia. When you were playing Top of the Pops, it felt like every week to me watching it at home. Who did you kind of hang out with? Did you meet some cool people?
I think we were kind of thrown in there together. I remember it was such a tiny studio. There was there's a little cafe in the middle of the studio, so we used to hang out during rehearsals during the day and stuff. I remember just standing there listening to Nick Hayward talk to his dog on the phone and things like this.
That's normal.
Yeah, this is very, very Nick. And the Frankies and the bizarre reason the Smiths always seemed to be there when I was there, but obviously they were an Emmy and I was Smash Hits, so we didn't talk to each other. So.
I love that. Oh, amazing. So your track is called From Cloudy Bay to Malibu. We've talked about it already. I'm going to play it right now. Tell us a bit more about this song.
Well, yes, it's a story, not particularly from personal experience, but it's someone whose long-term relationship has just ended and he's gone to drown his sorrows in a bar by travelling around the world through the medium of alcoholic beverages.
Perfect. Okay. Lovely to talk to you, Nick. Thank you so much. I'm glad we got to have a chat eventually.
Brilliant. Thanks, Claire.
Thank you so much for coming on. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Good luck with the album. Bye. Okay, it really is a musical journey through booze. Nik Kershaw from Cloudy Bay to Malibu, his brand new single from his brand new album, which is called Oxymoron, and you can get it now. Big thanks to Nick for coming on the show. My school friend Lynn Cooper was a big fan of Nik Kershaw, had a picture of him on her wall. I remember her telling me once that in Smash Hits magazine, he'd done an interview, and in the interview, he'd said, because he was a bit of a joker in the day, he'd said something about how his favourite vehicle was a tractor. And then she was like saying to me, well, how am I going to ever drive a tractor to impress Nick? I was like, seriously, listen to yourself, love. Listen to yourself. She was a proper super fan. Anyway, driving around a tractor around town. Amazing.